Hi everyone, my name is Sahil and I'm back with a new topic, the rising tensions between India and China. I have been reading about India's defense from quite a long time, and in this video I'll try to connect the dots between the facts. If you like the content in this video, please share it forward and let me give you 3 seconds to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. So without wasting any more time, let's begin. India has been facing border issues with their neighbors from quite a long time, starting from Pakistan to China and now over to Nepal. Like, seriously? Anyways, but right now I'm only gonna talk about the tensions between India and China, which are in the news these days. So, firstly, if you wanna know about what's exactly happening on the borders, stop watching the TV news. Most of the TV channels are comparing the firepower of both the countries, how China is now scared of India, which obviously makes you feel good, who has more nuclear powers, and they didn't stop here. Take a look at this. Anyways, firstly, we need to understand about China's expansionism. China poses a serious threat to several other nations with its expansion theory. This is China's map from 1949. You see over here that Tibet was not a part of China. Xinjiang, which was earlier called East Turkestan, that was not a part of China. The southern part of China was called Nationalist China, and Hong Kong and Macau were not in China. Essentially, PRC was roughly less than half of what it is today. This was 70 years ago. So, what do you think the next 70 years would be like? China has a thing for marking territories of other countries as their own by using some rhetorical history instances. So according to China, the territories they've taken over is because they've got a long old history with that particular area. If we go by that rule, more than half of Asia can be converted into India. On the economic front, threat comes from China's easy lending loans to developing nations, which now because of China's critical loan policies face potential debt crisis. Both of these issues pose as an imminent threat to rest of the world. You see, territorial expansion is not the only threat, but dependency on China's goods is coming up as one of the biggest threats to rest of the world, including India. Though India is slowly trying to reduce this dependency. So coming back to the border issues with India, everyone knows that what happened in the middle of June at Galwan Valley in Ladakh area. Even after senior commander level meeting in which both the countries decided to de-escalate that particular area, China was seen breaking India's trust by rebuilding the tents and canopies in those areas which they were not supposed to be building. This resulted in a heated argument and then into a brutal skirmish in which we lost 20 of our brave Indian soldiers, including the commanding officer of 16 Bihar Regiment. I was reading about an American intelligence report which states that a senior level Chinese general authorized those attacks on Indian troops at the Galwan area. It is said that General Zhao, who is the head of Western Theater Command, approved this operation. As according to him, he thinks that China has overlooked previous standoffs with India, which includes the Doklam standoff, and that China would appear weak in front of New Delhi and its biggest ally, the United States. He thought that this was a way to teach India a lesson. By the way, which has backfired because Indian troops took down double the number of Chinese soldiers over that area. Though, according to me, whatever that has happened is tragic, and no matter how many soldiers we kill, but loss of a single Indian soldier is a loss that can never be recovered. We are indebted forever by the valor of the 16 Bihar Regiment soldiers. India can neither afford the loss of a single Indian soldier, nor it can afford to lose a single inch of our land over to the Chinese. Our recent offensive military deployments suggest that we are not here to take a foot back on the LAC. And with decades of experience in protecting our borders from neighbors like Pakistan, we definitely know how to do it. As India is dedicated in building roads and infrastructures along the border, it is investing largely in modernizing the defense equipments. This disturbs China a lot. Another thing which is disturbing China is India's increasing relationships with the United States. New Delhi clearly knows how to keep its allies close enough, and that is what diplomacy is all about. Because there's a saying that the only thing worse than fighting with allies is fighting without them. And after the recent events, it has made it evident that most of the superpowers around the world are on this side of the border, the Indian side. Another thing that I was reading that for decades going by People's Liberation Army Journal of Science and Military Strategy, India was considered China's only number 4 security concern, but now the tables are turned. According to a Nanfang Daily survey of Chinese strategic thinkers in 2017, the defensive strategy of India has been turned towards the offensive side. Coming to the conclusive part of the video, I have learned that no two countries benefit from a war, but rest of the world takes advantage of it. One country's war is another country's business. And it's no surprise that amid this escalation, Russia turns India's choice to buy American-made assault rifle 6716 as an unusual decision. India recently bought 72,400 units of these American babies for our frontline soldiers, mostly in the northern sector. While it is also going for a joint venture with Russian Kalashnikov in order to acquire over 500,000 AK-203s so that they could replace the INSAS rifle. And lastly, about people asking for revenge. India and China are among the fastest growing economies in the world, and it would be a nail in the coffin for any of the countries to get involved in a war-like situation. And nor any of the leaders of both the sides would want that. Because like they say, revenge is an expensive luxury. Statesmen cannot afford it. And with this, I would be signing off. Please do comment as to what you think about this video. Thank you so much everyone. Jai Hind.